What's going on, guys? Martin Mentor here. Welcome back to the channel. So today I want to have a conversation that a lot of people are scared to have because it involves taking a look in the mirror. It involves responsibility and accountability for the decisions that we make. And you guys know that we're all about accountability on this channel. So let's get straight into it. There is a growing trend in the cargo van and the box truck space where people are blaming content creators for their failures. I've seen it more and more lately. Yesterday, I watched Cars and Cribs address the backlash that he's been getting lately with people because people feel like he might have misled them into the cargo van space.
I got some flag. I got some good news and bad news about the video I did about the cargo van business. Like, am I really running the cargo van business? I said no. Some people said that they really appreciate the transparency. They really appreciate that I told the truth. They really appreciate all that stuff. But then you also had other people that said stuff like, I'm the reason why they failed in the cargo van business. People got vans now. They don't know what to do with them. You also had this one guy on this other video said that it's my fault that he went out and rented a van and he didn't make any money up with it. It's just multiple different things. We got people. I even had somebody on Mark the Mentor channel saying something about I must couldn't sleep good because I was lying to people. People call me liar, all type of stuff. So we're gonna address everything right now off the bat. We're gonna address everything in this video. Now.
Then on the Wiseman podcast the other day, Monday, there was a guy in the chat that was very adamant about holding Entre Mike accountable for some of the content that he put out in his earlier content creation days during the pandemic when he was, and he admitted to being green because he was a novice in the industry while simultaneously putting out content that might have been a little bit misleading because he was new. And, you know, the guy that was in the chat was a person who, you know, came into the box truck business and failed, and he blames it. You know, most of his blame is geared towards content creators. So what I want to do today is break this down. Where do content creators hold responsibility, and where does the viewer need to take accountability for their own decisions? First thing first, I 100% absolutely believe that content creators have a responsibility. If you put out content, especially in a space where people are looking for financial guidance, business strategies, ways to change their life, you need to have a moral compass. You need to be mindful that real people are watching, and real people can lose real money if you mislead them. And let's be honest, some content creators in the cargo van and box truck space do put out misleading information. They sell dreams, not realities. They tell you that you can make 6 figures in a cargo van. They tell you that you can make 6 figures in a box truck in 3 months. But they don't tell you the costs that are associated with it. Insurance costs, deadhead miles, the inconsistent freight, the real work that goes into it. They throw numbers that look good, but don't talk about the overhead. Don't talk about the overhead. And if you don't know the math and the costs that are associated with running this business, then you're going to fall right into the trap. So yes, creators should be held accountable when they knowingly put out misinformation. But here's where it gets tricky. Just because a creator was wrong or inexperienced at one point, does that mean you can put 100% of the blame on them for your failure? Absolutely not. Now let's talk about y'all, the viewer, the ones watching the videos, taking the advice, and making business decisions based off what you hear in these YouTube videos, these TikTok reels, these Instagram reels, these Facebook reels. And I'm going to say this as real as I can. You got a responsibility too. At the end of the day, this is your business. It's your van. It's your truck. It's your money. It's your fuel, it's your expenses. So why are you putting all your trust in a content creator without verifying information for yourself? I always say, understand what you're investing in, have a full understanding of what you're investing in. I always say, before you put in a single dollar, do your own research. Watch multiple people, cross check information, read contracts, understand your cost per mile, which is a lot of the OTR guys, whether you're in a cargo van or a box truck's main issue is a lot of people don't understand or know what it costs them to run their business. You can't take one video you came across on the internet and just take it at face value and think you got all the answers based off this one video because you like that person, you like their personality, or whatever the case may be. Because if you do that and it doesn't work out for you, you don't get to put 100% of the blame on the person that made the video, because a part of that responsibility was to fact check that information. And that blame, you have to look in the mirror and hold yourself accountable as well. Blame culture is dangerous because it allows people to dodge accountability. Instead of what I could have done differently, people start pointing fingers. That YouTuber lied to me. That creator misled me. They use clickbait, so it's their fault. I failed. But let's be real. Was it clickbait, or was it the fact that you didn't do your due diligence? And I get it. Some of y'all feel like you were sold a dream. I tell a lot of y'all were sold a dream by some of these guys. You fell for it for the reasons that I spoke on earlier. Some of y'all spent thousands of dollars on vans, trucks, insurance, fuel, this, that, and now you realizing once you're in it, right, after you've consumed minimal information without fact checking, and now you get into it, you done spent the money, or some of you guys don't even do the research search at all, then you spend the money, and then you realize it's not as easy as some of those videos made it out to be. But what if you did your research before you spent the money? What if you ran the numbers before you spent the money? Did you talk to people already in the business? Did you test it out? Or did you think about starting from humble beginnings, like I tell people to do, and work your way up, learn as you grow, instead of jumping in at a more advanced level with minimum resources? This is where self-accountability comes in. You played a role in your own downfall. All right, let's talk about clickbait. That's another thing that people love to complain about. I don't do it on this channel. My videos are pretty straightforward. I'm an older guy, so clickbait, you see it a lot with the younger content creators. It's a way to drive viewership to your channel, indeed. And I'm gonna be honest with you as the viewer, it's a part of the content creation game. It's, you have to, use your best judgment when you're clicking on some of these videos. And even if it's a video that is clickbait or has a clickbaity title, you have to be able to siphon through the video and pull out the nuggets. It is a part of the game. A lot of people do it. So you got to kind of understand that, people do what they need to do to get views and grab people's attention. There's a difference between clickbait that's misleading and clickbait that's just marketing. A lot of y'all probably don't realize, if you're not in content creation, for instance, if I titled something, the real cost of running a cargo van, or the real cost of running a box truck, a lot of people probably wouldn't click on it. But if I titled it, I lost everything in the cargo van business, or I lost everything in the box truck business, here's why, now you're interested. Same information inside the video, different marketing strategy. There was recently a video that kind of went viral in the box truck space from a new creator that talked about how he lost everything in the box truck business, right? That video went viral. But every video he's done since then hasn't even measured close to what that video did. Why? Um, as strange as it sounds, there's something about failure that attracts people. You have some sick people that like to come and they bask in other people's failures. They take enjoyment out of it. There's also peers that may have failed in the cargo van business or the box truck business, and that whole misery loves company thing. They want to hear someone else's story because it makes them feel a little bit better that they're not the only one that failed. All right. There's just something in our mind that triggers us to click on failure videos and failure titles more so than things that may be just straightforward. So now that those two examples that I gave, it's not clickbait. It's just marketing. Going straight forward, saying the real cost of running a box truck business or real cost of running a cargo van business, it's the cost versus, I lost everything in the cargo van business. Here's why. You're going to get the same information. It's just a different way to market the video. And here's another thing. People evolve. Maybe a content creator was green in the beginning. I saw that the other day on a Wiseman podcast with Entre Mike, and he actually admitted he was green in the beginning. So maybe they didn't know what they were talking about when they first started out, but now they do. That doesn't mean that they intentionally misled you. It means they were learning, and just like everybody else. Here is why I feel like that responsibility is held to the viewer more so. The content creator. Both parties have responsibility, but I give this example all the time. A lot of people that came into the space during the pandemic were being led and following people that came into the space during the pandemic. You literally watched a video of a person that said, just started my box truck business. Click the link below and tap in to my course or my mentorship and let me show you how you can make $1 million in a box truck business. And then you see YouTube has the timestamp posted 7 days ago. And you click the link and you spent your $5,000. And then you run back to the internet and say how this course was trash or the mentorship was trash. It was all Googleable. And then I hold you accountable and I said, well, they didn't lie to you. Mark, what you mean they didn't lie to me? The video was posted 7 days ago. What made you think that you was going to learn something from somebody that posted a video 7 days ago that said, just started my box truck business? Click the link below. You click the link. They're literally starting when you start. What value you think you're going to get from a person that's literally starting in this industry at the same time as you? They're not experienced. And then you got the dun look on your face. So that's why I say in situations like that, I hold the viewer more responsible than the content creator. Sure, the content creator is selling a product without experience, so they're bogus, right? But as a viewer and as a business person, that was a bad business decision because ultimately that person didn't lie to you. They're just starting. What type of value you think you're going to get from that person? Y'all hold the content creators to a standard that you don't even hold yourselves to. How many of y'all knew everything about business when you first got into it? None of us. So what's the solution? First thing I tell people, vet your sources. Don't take advice from anybody. I always tell people take advice from experienced, tenured people. Now, what experience and tenure looks like to you may look like something different to the next person. All right. So you have to make that, decision. You have to, make it wisely on who you're going to allow to advise you. Find creators that are, credible. All right. The second thing is do your own research. Watch multiple videos, read forums, find good quality groups. All right. Doesn't necessarily have to be Facebook groups. There's different, groups out here. Find good groups with good people where there is a good amount of tenure and experience in those groups. All right. There's groups out there where there's a bunch of novice trying to help novice, and all you see in those groups is a bunch of complaining. Why? Because there's no tenure or experience in those groups. Just because the group is popular and it has a bunch of, members doesn't mean, it's good. Find good experience groups or groups with good experience uh, people. If you can, test before you invest. If you're unsure, maybe rent a truck, rent a van, find some gig apps that you can run without fully being licensed, just so you can get a feel of the business. And this is not about as far as the operations. Some people get into this business and it's too much work for them. So test it out to see if you can handle the work or this is the workload that you want. A lot of people, were sold this dream, no touch freight and all this. And I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. It's not as sweet as a lot of these people make it out to be. You may have to touch some shit. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. The harder the scope, the more money you're gonna make. The easier it is, the less money you're gonna make. So the decision is up to you. Maybe, test before you invest. Try some things in the cargo van. Try some gigs in the box truck where you don't necessarily need to have authority. Try some of these gig apps and test it out before you go out and invest your money. Maybe go work for somebody. Go work for a company. Get that hands-on training and get paid to get trained. And while you're out there working, eavesdrop, pay attention to all the operations, the behind the scenes stuff. Understand what you're getting into before you get into it. Understand what you're investing in. Taking accountability. If you've made bad business decisions, own it. Learn from it. If you bought a course or a mentorship and you feel like you were taken advantage of or you were misled, because it was Googleable information, you have to own that as well. Yeah, the content creator might have sold you this dream and sold you some recycled Googleable information, but ultimately you made a decision for your business. You hired a consult. Look at that as that content creator as a consulting firm to consult you. You hired a consulting firm. You made that decision for your business. You hired the wrong consulting firm. Your business spent the money. Since you sit at the helm of the business, you have to hold yourself accountable for making that bad decision for your business. Learn from it, keep moving. Blaming the person ain't gonna, it ain't gonna get your money back. It ain't. But learning from it may, because it's going to help you it's going to prevent you from making that foolish decision again. At the end of the day, content creators and viewers both have a responsibility. Creators should be mindful of what they put out, but viewers got to take responsibility for their own business moves. Stop looking for people to blame. Start looking for what you can do different. If you got value from this video, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Appreciate everybody for watching. Until next time, peace.